Hey, what's going on, guys? Boost the Whips here. I wanted to cover this video here. I've been asked a lot of questions in regards to the V4 bumper that's coming out, and I just wanted to clear a few things so you guys are aware what's the holdup. I was one of the guinea pigs along with one of my other team members from Pristine Legends, which is XG No Fear. So make sure you guys check them out on Instagram. Me and him are the only one that are rocking this bumper. So with collaboration with him, I did a lot of the research and of course a lot of the modifications on here to try to get this to fit on here. So I wanted to cover what this will entail as we're getting closer to launching the bumper. High Rev Sports does have the inventory, but we're waiting on a few things to go ahead and launch it because we just can't launch it as is. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown, and then eventually once we have all the parts, I will do a video on how do you install all this and how do you get it on there perfectly. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, some of the things you're gonna do, I'm gonna show you here. If you don't do the modifications correctly, you're gonna have a huge gap. So I did this here just so that I can show you guys the difference between, you know, doing the modifications that you need. I don't know if you can notice it on camera, but there is a larger gap in this area compared to the passenger side, which is very minimal to OEM style. So the things that are going to be needed, because I get a lot of questions, is what type of modification is going to entail, because we're giving the bumpers at a very discounted rate just because you need to go ahead and do these modifications. Otherwise this bumper is not going to fit on here. You need to go ahead and Dremel out in between the clip points that are on there. That's number one. Number two, you're gonna have to update the headlight bracket. You can see it here better, but the headlight bracket needs to also change, and those are the actual things that we're waiting on, along with this black trim here. This needs to be updated as well, so we're bringing those in. The OEM ones doesn't fit on here, and then there's a center bar that comes on the bumper on the V4 that you need to go ahead and cut off, which is like somewhere around this center area. You have to go ahead and cut it off in order to fit this center trim. So all this center area that you see here, that whole black portion there, all that gets transferred over to the new bumper, and also the trim here. But since the OEM one from US doesn't fit, you have to go ahead and upgrade that as well. So that's what we're waiting on. The rest of the bumper, all the trim pieces that you see on here, you get a close-up here, all these trim pieces, like for the fog, this bottom trim piece, and even the side ones here, those all come detached. So you're gonna have to go ahead and add those on there. You need to transfer your fog lights. Again, I'm gonna have a separate video on how do you do that, but I just want to give you guys the rundown so you guys know what's expected. Since around February time frame, I think it's when we'll be ready. The bottom lip is a 3-piece, and it's being held on by similar to OEM pressure clips at the bottom. I think it's about 9 or 10, and I've test driven this at a very high speed and nothing has come off, so this is pretty good. But that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, I just wanted to do this video just to give you guys a heads up what this is going to entail, since High Rev Sports should be launching that anytime soon. We do have the inventories actually sitting on their warehouse, but we cannot launch it without having those pieces, because you definitely cannot install this bumper as is. And the reason being is because China's OEM bumper is definitely different than ours, simply because the center collision bar is much smaller in China than it is here in the US. So when they molded the bumper, it was molded to the China version, and obviously I think it has less depth, so that's why you got to modify those areas that I just mentioned. But Definitely a great kit. We're also waiting on the rear one, which I'll be also testing that eventually. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and drop them below. Until next time, Boost the Whips. I'm out. Have a very pleasant day, and God bless.